الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته ومنتهى علمه وجميع ما شاء وخلق وبرأ عالم الغيب وشهادة الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على دين كله ولو كره المشركون أما بعد فيقول الله تعالى في سورة الجمعة يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. Alhamdulillah, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Him for blessing us with another Yom Jumu'ah, another day of gathering, another Eid, another celebration, another festive occasion for us. In fact, many of the people of Islam for generations from the first have been saying that Yom Jumu'ah, the day of gathering, is like our third Eid. It's like our third celebration. You know, you have Eid al-Fitr, the Eid or the festival or the celebration of breaking the fast, and you have Eid al-Adha, which is the Eid of the sacrifice. Alhamdulillah, Yom Jumu'ah is considered the third Eid, and it doesn't come around once a year, it comes around once a week. Alhamdulillah. I want to remind us that we have to have a good opinion of the Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Al-Aqibatu lil-Muttaqeen. The good outcome is for those who have taqwa. You have to know and understand that regardless of what you as an individual are going through, or what we are going through as a collective body, the good outcome is for the believers. In fact, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a well-known hadith, "Ajiban lil amri al-mu'min." Amazing is the affair of the believer. Everything that happens to him is good. These are the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said, and this is the case only for the believer. If something good happens to him, he has shukr. He's thankful. So that's good for him. If something bad happens to him, he has sabr. He has patience. So that's good for him. When you reflect on that hadith, something that one of the many things that we should take away from this hadith is the fact that it's not what happens to you that makes a situation good or bad. It's how you handle the situation that makes it good or bad. It's not what happens to you. What happens to you happens to millions of other people. That's not good or bad. It's how you handle, how you deal with what happens to you that's good or bad. Allah could give you a lot of money, a lot of it. And you could say, the reason why I got this money is because of a knowledge that I had. It's because of the hard work that I put in. That's why I got this money. In your case, that money is bad for you. Why? Because you gave no gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You thought it was exclusively because of what you did or what you thought or your mind state and the work that you put in. No gratitude, no recognition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have given that money to someone else who's smarter than you, who worked harder than you. You thought it was all you. So in that case, that money you got was bad for you. Why? No shukr. You could have had a tragic death to someone that's close to you, someone you love, a child, a grandchild, a parent, a brother or sister, a husband or wife, someone close to you dies. It hurts you. But you say, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, thumma ilayna turja'un. Every soul must taste death, and it is to Allah, it is to Him our ultimate return. Everybody has to die. It was my loved one's turn. It is in the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I enjoyed that person's company while they were here. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. That tragic death was good for you because you dealt with it with patience. You didn't say, why me? So everything that happens to the believer is good. Everything for the believer. And this is only for them. What you or I are going through is only like a twinkling of an eye. It's not going to last long. When you look at the reality, even if you live 100 years, that's not a long time compared to the rest of our life. Because our life doesn't stop when Allah takes our soul from our body and we get put in the ground. That's just a period of transitioning. Now we go into the real business, the real deal. So everything that happens is good for the believer. You can't get caught up on what's in front of you. The delusion. You have to be mindful of that. What does Allah say in Surah Al-Baqarah when He describes the believers? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Those who believe in the unseen. One of the characteristics of the believers. One of the characteristics of the believers. A lot of things make up the unseen. And one of the reasons why a lot of us have this pessimistic outlook on everything is because our belief in the unseen is weak. We only trust that which is tangible, that which we can see, taste, touch, or smell. Ponder on that. Sometimes when we look at the situation of the believers, we think, oh man, it ain't good. That's only because of what you see. The Prophet ﷺ has informed us many different times that there will always be a ta'ifa, a group, holding on to the rope of Allah until Allah establishes His command. And the danger of having this fatalistic outlook when we think about the Muslims, the Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The danger in that is that our opinion of the believers is really the reality of our own souls. Man, the Muslims ain't no good. The believers is doing real bad. Ain't no good Muslims out here. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إِذَا قَالَ الرَّجُلُ هَلَكَ النَّاسُ فَهُوَ أَهْلَكَهُمْ. This hadith is a Sahih Muslim narrated by Abu Hurairah. May Allah be pleased with him. Whoever or whenever a person says, the people are destroyed, just the people messed up, man. People destroyed. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَهُوَ أَحْلَقُهُمْ. He is the most destroyed of them. He is the most destroyed of them. Because Allah always leaves guidance for His people. See, a lot of us, we're caught up on numbers. We're caught up on what we see. A lot of brothers looking for a good wife. Man, all these sisters messed up. Whoa, watch out. That statement may only indicate that you're messed up. I mean, just think about it logically. All these sisters tore up. Ain't no good women out here. Think about that thought. What's your definition of a good woman? The one who's advertising herself in front of every brother? The one that takes the extra close-up selfie with the mile-long eyelashes? Blink, blink. With the extra superb filter? She don't have a filter. She don't have a pimple nowhere on her. She's glowing. She's radiating. And you and 5,000 other men see that. Is that the good sister? MashaAllah, tabarak wa ta'ala. She even used tajweed in English. She put ayns in English words. She starts out a regular conversation with Khutbah to Hajj. Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu ilallah. How are you, brothers and sisters? I'm fine. That's your opinion of a good sister? Advertising herself? One who does tabarruj, who displays her beauty? Is that your definition of a good sister? The real good sisters, you have to stumble upon them. You have to be in the trenches putting in the work. Then you find that good sister. The real good sisters, they understand what Allah says in the Quran about hiding their beauty. They're not trying to show you how knowledgeable they are. You don't even know they exist. You just so happen to stumble across them. And it's the same with the brothers. I always tell a story. It was funny. I was living in Philadelphia. One time the masjid we was working at, it was like on the second floor. All the vendors would be down on the street. Those who know I'm talking about 52nd Street. One time I was just sitting at the window just watching, And I saw this brother, he had a little fold table. You know, you can go to Walmart, buy 5 of them with chairs, like card tables, I think you call them. You fold them out, little wooden tables. He had this little wooden table out, and I'm wondering, what is this brother selling? I don't really see anything, he's just sitting there with a Quran. And Muslim sister walk by, he quiet. So he'll see a Muslim sister walking by, right? Like, subhanAllah. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know this brother ain't reciting and pick up women. So I'm like, and the sister walk, mashallah. Like, y'all going for this? Kick it when I get the number, sit back down. I said, subhanAllah. This brother is sitting out there with vendors, and he's not selling anything. He's selling himself and his tajweed. You think that's the good brother that's doing all of that to get you? Advertising his righteousness? In Islam we call that riyah, showing off. That person gets no benefit for that good deed in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because he's not doing it for his sake. He's doing it for the sake of people. Is that your definition of a good brother? So brothers and sisters, don't lose hope in the ummah. Have a good opinion of the ummah. What you see in front of you is an illusion. The real beautiful things, the real good things, a lot of times you don't see them. They're hidden. You don't find gold and diamonds just sitting on top of the street. You find them deep in the earth. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa afdalu salatu wa atamu taslim. على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ورضي الله تعالى عن سادة التابعين وعلماء العاملين وأئمة الأربعة المجتهدين ومقربين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد والحمد لله رب العالمين. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. O you who believe, when the call is made for Jumu'ah prayer, hasten to the remembrance of Allah and leave off all business. That is better for you if you but knew. It's a beautiful ayah describing or informing or commanding us of what we should do and how we should behave on this day of ours, Jumu'ah. When the call is made for Friday prayer, hasten to the remembrance of Allah. Does that mean run the Jumu'ah? Does that mean if you're driving, speed, run the red light, run the stop sign? No. It means prepare yourself properly and try to be the first one there. So you won't have to do all that, running and all that kind of stuff. In fact, we are discouraged from doing that type of thing. Running, coming, hastening to the match. No, you prepare. Fas'au ila dhikrillah. Hasten to the remembrance of Allah. And the remembrance of Allah is the khutbah. It is the salah. Hasten to the remembrance of Allah. And a lot of times, we do other than that, not because of our situation, not because of something outside of our control, because we feel kind of down with our Islam. We just it's another work day. All right, let me just go. Some of us, we don't even get dressed up for Jumu'ah. We wear what we wear every other day. While it's permissible, it takes away from the spirit of Islam, and it goes against the advice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said we should wear our cleanest clothes. We should make ghusl. We should take a complete bath before Jumu'ah. Preferably right before Jumu'ah. If you can, as close as you can to the time before Jumu'ah. Wadrul bay'ah, and leave off all business. All of these are commands from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Leave off all business. And usually with verses like that, this is where we stop. Allah says this, do that, okay? That is better for you if you knew. How was it better for me? Aha. See, we have this disconnect in our mind. I don't really know how it's better for me. I mean, I'm not getting paid for coming to Jumu'ah. So, and we don't say this, most of us don't say this to ourselves verbatim, but this is how our heart is. I guarantee you, and you can deny it all you want, but you know it's true. And if we had money like that, and I said, listen, that's not it. I want you to stand at the door, and I want you to question every believer that comes through and see if they made ghusl before Jumu'ah, and if that's the cleanest, their best outfit. And if they reply in the affirmative, if they say yes, just give them $50. And stop giving up that $50 when Abdul Mujib calls it done. I guarantee you, everybody will be here before 1:30. Why? Because there's a tangible reward involved. Even if people that have wealth come here, they're like, $50 is nothing. $50 is not a lot of money, even to the most brokest of us. But you can still say, well, that $50, that's half of my cell phone bill, or for some of us, all of my cell phone bill. Or that's a night out to the movies. Or that's, you can quantify it. You can see how that $50 will benefit you. So, yeah, I'll come to Jumu'ah one time. Because I know Hastani giving up that $50. It's tangible. But Allah says, that is better for you if you knew. But you can't quantify how it's better, so you're more lax. There's a disconnect in your mind. In your mind, there's no connection between your financial problems and coming to Jumu'ah on time. In your mind, there's no connection between your marital problems and showing up to Jumu'ah with the ghusl. In your mind, there's no connection with your spiritual crisis, this crisis of faith that you're having, and giving Allah His rights on Jumu'ah. There's no connection there. But there is a connection. Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghayb. Those who believe in the unseen. Allah says in the Quran, وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَيَسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنْصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. When the Quran is being recited, Surah 7, verse 204. When the Quran is being recited, فَيَسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنْصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. You can't even translate that word properly. فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ. Listen to it. Listen to it. Don't do justice. Because Allah could have said فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ. Listen, that means listen to it. Istama'a. Istami'u. Listen to it. Ponder on it. reflect on it. It's a reflexive command. وَأَنْسِتُوا, and be quiet. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. Look at the commentary of that verse. This includes the Khutbah of Jumu'ah. See, a lot of us, there's a disconnect there. A lot of us aren't here in order to listen. We're not present. So how are you going to, you're not here. And if you are here, are you talking? I've given Khutbah before. You try to be discreet. Say, brothers and sisters, it's not permissible to talk during Jumu'ah Khutbah, and I'm looking at the brother doing it, and he's looking at me, still having a conversation. Now I think a lot of y'all, not just here, just in general, a lot of y'all too weak. A lot of you who've been around for a long time knows that wouldn't happen a long time ago. The Imam wouldn't have to say anything. He would have got taken out the masjid physically. And he would have had his wrong actions explained to him outside. And if he understood and was cooperative, then he would be permitted back in. Other than that, you out. Bye. But they don't make people like that anymore. We gotta, we gotta be soft and have lotion with everybody. When the Quran is being recited, listen to it, reflect on it, and remain silent. Because if you're talking, you can't listen to it. One of my teachers, a lot of times he real smooth because he knew we understood this concept. We'll be in the car driving, and when we'll be talking too much, his way of telling us to shut up will be putting a cassette tape with some Quran playing. Because he knew we wouldn't talk over the Quran. He's like, oh, gotta be quiet. A lot of us now, we don't even know that. The Quran is playing, we'll still be talking over the Quran. The mindset is different. But you can't lose hope in the Ummah. Look at the mindset. A lot of you, think about this. There are brothers right now, as we speak. They're locked up, they're incarcerated. They're in Jumu'ah. They don't have a comfortable rug, air conditioner. They're in a gym or some room someplace with sheets and blankets on the floor as a musalla. And they're there on time. Some of them don't even have sheets or a blanket to put on the floor. They're on a cold, hard floor. And they're happy to be there. And if you don't let them out they cell on time, there might be a riot. They are grateful for what they have. Are we grateful for what we have? We're out here free. And we're lax with it. And we won't recognize our situation until Allah takes it from us. And some of us still won't even recognize because our hearts are black. Guidance doesn't penetrate it. Look at the mindset from back in the day. A lot of sincerity with little knowledge. Many of us, and some of you can relate. We see a fly, we don't have no problem killing a fly. We see a roach, we have no problem killing the roach. We see a mosquito, no problem killing the mosquito. We see a spider, is it permissible for us to kill that spider? Did you? Some of you know what I'm talking about. Why did you hesitate with killing the spider? You hesitated because you knew that the spider is what Allah used to protect His Prophet ﷺ in the cave of Hira. This is what every Muslim knew once upon a time. You didn't have to be a sheikh. You didn't have to go away for 8 years to study to know that. Every Muslim knew that once upon a time. They was making hijrah. Him and Abu Bakr were in the cave. And the Quraysh was right behind them. They went in the cave, and the cave was so small that their feet were sticking out the cave. A spider built a web right on top of the outside of the cave. The Quraysh cave. It was like, well, we're not even going here. We don't even need to look in here. The spider wouldn't build a web that quick. Abu Bakr said, if they would have just looked down, they would have seen our feet. We all used to know this. And so out of our love of the Prophet ﷺ, that respect, that honor of the spider who built that web transmitted 1,400 years for us and made us hesitate on killing a spider in Pittsburgh. No Nas, no, we didn't have no fiqh, no Hanafi, Shafi, Maliki. We just know, hey, spider, look out for the prophet. We love the prophet, we love spiders. Don't lose hope in the ummah. You have to be proactive. The good, the energy, that himmah is in the work. It's not waiting for someone else to do it. That's the welfare mentality. You know what? I ain't going to eat until the money come on the card, on the EBT card. If it don't come on the card, I'm going to starve. I'm not going to eat till the SSI come. I'm not going to buy no clothes until the cash assistant. That's the welfare mentality. Waiting for somebody to give it to you. You have to go out and get it. That's what brings the heart alive. That's what makes the heart. It's the work. It's not the outcome. You may not even see the outcome in your lifetime. But you know you were sincere. And when you do something that's good with a sincere intention, you know that even if you're not successful in doing it, Allah rewards you as if you have done it. So may Allah increase our himmah. May Allah make us aspire to be like the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba. May Allah keep pessimism from around us. May Allah keep us around people who want to increase in their Islam and do better and draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.